loser leaves town. Steelers, Colts. I know these teams are not sexy, but they still are viable teams in playoff positioning right now in the AFC, which is, if you said at the beginning of the year, either one of these teams right there would be in position where a win, somebody's going to win this game unless it's a tie, they're still going to be right there on the inside looking out to be a playoff team. Which team do you think will survive that test right now? The Colts open, 2.5? And I'm seeing not a whole lot of movement there. What I am seeing a move to, though, is to the over here. Open 39. Am I seeing this correctly? Up to 42.5?
Yeah, I wonder if this means that Kenny Pickett is going to be given clearance here, because obviously the game did go over with a low total of 30.5
right.
on Thursday night against the Patriots. But TJ Watt did leave with a concussion too, so that's your best defensive player. Him and Hayward certainly the best two. Colts do go over again today, and just looking at this, maybe Kenny Pickett is going to be back. It says he's still out indefinitely, but certainly a move to the total here at 42.5. Colts minus 2.5. I think that's about right. Because the Steelers, look, they lost to two-win teams in back-to-back weeks at home.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't see that. And, so now the market's a little bit low on the Steelers. I would lean that side, and I would certainly like it on a teaser.
So, yeah, because, again, when you mentioned that the number is right, I know the Colts were a team you're looking to kind of fade in the second half a little bit, and they've won a couple games until today.
Mm-hmm.
Is the fade beginning for this team, or have they been on borrowed time a little bit?
I think maybe a little bit on borrowed time, to be honest with you. They've been very, very fortunate.
Yep.
I think the Colts, to be doing this with a backup quarterback who's, a little bit shaky in the pocket, can be a little turnover prone at times. And, and the fact that they didn't have their best run stopper in there, Grover Stewart, who I believe just came back today, kind of tells you that Colts have been a little bit smoke and mirrors too. And that's my hometown team. I'm a former season ticket holder there. But it's what I've always said about the Colts. I felt like every game that was left on their schedule, there were no world beaters on there. Every game was winnable, and every game was losable. They end up finding a way to win the previous week in Tennessee,
yeah,
where they probably could have easily lost.
Yep.
And then today, Cincinnati, it was all Bengals in the second half.
And for the Steelers, and Mike Tomlin deserves the flowers, never had a losing season. We get all that. And then in the span of 4 days, you lose at home to Arizona and then back that up with a real clunker against the Patriots, both those games in the Steel City. And now you got to go on the road. That's going to be tough. I guess the only saving grace is kind of like the Bills after that bad loss in Philly. Then they got time off and they look better, at least in the first half today. Do you expect to see a better effort from the Steelers in that first half against the Colts, knowing that they've had 10 days off? And you can't look a whole lot worse than you did against Arizona.
You would think so. I think it's going to depend on which quarterback plays. I think for Pittsburgh, not that Kenny Pickett has been great, but he was at least solid in that start in Cincinnati when they changed the play caller. Matt Canada let go, and Mike Sullivan took over as the play caller. They were certainly better at getting to the tight end, whereas Trubisky is a quarterback that I believe has to be outside the pocket and has to play a little bit of schoolyard football.
Running game. This is you need a lot more things to go right with Mitchell Trubisky.
Yeah, I think so.
Right?
Yeah.
And the things around him have to be better because he's just on an elevator. I mean, that's what I think we've seen so far in his career. Again, Gardner Minshew, let me just ask very quickly because I know you've seen a lot of him, seen a lot of Colts football. What have you made of his time now as a starter for Anthony Richardson? Still kind of jittery in the pocket and missing some plays?
Look, he's been okay. I mean, he's been serviceable. The team's 500 when, a lot of people thought, oh, man, this is going to be like a 3 or 4 win team. Look, they're already over their season win total.
Yep.
I thought this team was going to win 6 games, and they've already won 7 and would still be the third wild card in the AFC if the season ended today. But they didn't run the ball well today. Jonathan Taylor, we know, has been out. He came back, but he's been out with his injury. So I'm not sure the timetable for JT. They initially said it was going to be a couple weeks. Of course, he's out with the thumb issue, but maybe he comes back here. Still a lot of uncertainty, but lean Pittsburgh at least on the opener.
You know, look, there's a direct correlation when Watt plays and when he's healthy. That team is much different in the win-loss record when he's playing and when he's not. So something certainly to monitor there.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.